The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Huddle Up here on Missouri Sports Network inside the Bambino's fine Italian cafe studio. It's your boy, Johnny Mack. I'm sitting here with the scoreboard guy, Mr. Newcomb himself, and the famous coach, Mr. D.A. Fellas, hey, the draft happened. We got a lot to talk about them damn Chiefs, man. They keep getting better. I'm telling you what, I'm going to start betting on the Chiefs and just leave. I put my ego aside and just start making this money because the Chiefs, they damn near stole the draft. But fellas, coach, let me start with you. How's the week been, my brother?
Doing great. Weather's starting to feel like spring, and looking forward to some more baseball. Glad it's back on the air.
You ain't lying. Last week they had to cancel a lot of games, all that rain. Look, I like rain. I like sitting outside on my porch and listening to the rain and having me a cold beverage. And I like calling in sick from work when it rains. Damn it, I ain't gonna lie to you. If it's raining, damn it, I don't feel good. What's wrong with you? Right now, you just have to fake the whole voice. I'm not really feel. I don't even do that no more. It's raining, not coming in. It's a rain day for me. So I had a little bit of a rain time last week. Nuke, what's up with you, baby? How's the week been?
It's been great. It's been great. And hey, for all those listeners out there, hey, do us a favor. Hey, you ain't got to tell two friends. You go out and tell one friend. Hey, tune in to Huddle Up. Go to our Facebook page and like us on Facebook, and go out to YouTube and subscribe, and you'll get these notifications pop up on your phone. And you just got to tell one friend, not two, one friend. Get it done.
That's right. Get it done and go to Walmart shopping because I want to go out there. I'm gonna be walking around Walmart soon. I want to see you out there. You know what I'm saying? You know who you are. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Hey, fella, let's jump into some of this draft that happened last week. I mean, you know, some of these guys are walking around like they already made it. Hey, you know what you did? You had a better than good. You had an exceptional college career. And you played against some 18-year-olds or some 19-year-olds. And some of you played against an extremely talented, on an extremely talented team. And some of you played, wherever you fit in at. And you made it to the NFL. Congratulations. Not a real game begins. Now we get to see if you get this 3-year, 5-year contract, rookie contract, and if you get re-upped after 3 years, or do they just kind of let your options run out and then just say, we're going to let you go and cut you and give you that split salary. That's something the agents know, and then keep it moving. Because the lifetime in the NFL is under 3 years. And some of these guys are walking around here last week. It just made me mad. But if I am sitting on the west side of this state, I'm going to tell you this, DA. Kansas City Chiefs, they put in some work last week in that draft. What do you think?
Yes, they did. The rich just keep getting richer. They have hats off to their front office staff, their scouting staff. They seem to come up no matter how far down they are in the draft. When it's all said and done, they come out looking really, really good. And no different this year. They made some wise moves in selection, addressed some needs, and they took on some best guys available. And I think they hit on every selection that they had up and down the draft.
You know what? When you look at it, it's almost unfair to give Patrick Mahomes the fastest guy. And I'm not sure, Nuke, but was he the fastest that ever ran in the combines?
He was indeed 4.21 and a 4.22.
How did they get a guy like that, Nuke?
Well, number one, the book on him, kind of the negatives is he's only 165 pounds. And, that's one thing. And Tyreek Hill was not. I mean, he was a slight of build. And I think that's why he fell. And then for them to be able to move up, I mean, Veach, I don't know why anybody in the AFC would trade with the Chiefs on draft day, but especially the Buffalo Bills. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is because the Buffalo Bills made a trade with the Chiefs that allowed them to move up to number 10 in 2017 to get Mahomes. And Buffalo needed a wide receiver. They just traded Stephon Diggs. And they trade with the Chiefs. And the Chiefs get up, and it's just unbelievable. But, we'll see. And, you can't give draft grades out. I just don't believe you can give a draft grade out right after the draft. You got to wait 2 or 3, maybe even 4 years to see how that draft pans out. But, right now, the Chiefs may have had the best draft of anybody in the NFL.
You know what? I wouldn't disagree with you. It's funny that Buffalo would do that, but the Chiefs also, they gave up, I believe, a 3rd round pick to move up to get this guy. Now, look, 165 pounds. I've left some of them on the side of the road before, or should I say, the toilet. But that's a small guy. That's a little bitty old thing. You know what I mean? But he can stretch the field. And they just re-upped Travis Kelce, who said that, hey, he didn't want to go, look at elsewhere. I didn't want to be greedy. So they gave him more weapons. But overall, I thought they did really well in the draft. I don't really know what Chicago's doing. That's a whole nother thing. But, they did get their quarterback. We'll see what happens with some of these teams. But with that being said, the Chiefs, Super Bowl champions next year, Super Bowl contenders, or do you think someone else will come up and kind of bite them in the AFC? What are you saying, Nuke?
I think they've got to go in as a favorite. They replaced, they got an offensive tackle in the 2nd round with Kingsley Suamatea out of Brigham Young. And, Andy Reid he in the past has drafted, some of those offensive linemen for Brigham Young. I mean, he spent time there as an offensive line coach at, them there in Mizzou. He kind of got it started there. I think they addressed that. They also addressed, they're tied into the future. I mean, Travis Kelce, I know he signed a 2-year deal or extension, but I think that was a way for the Chiefs, because $34 million of that's guaranteed. And that's basically saying, hey, you've been the best tight end, over the past decade, and maybe the best tight end in history, and we haven't rewarded you like that, so we're going to make you the highest paid tight end in the NFL, and that $34 million of that's guaranteed over that last 2 years of that. I don't know that he'll see the end of that contract, but he will see that $34 million because it's guaranteed. And then they went out and got that Jared Wiley, in the 4th round with the 131st pick. He's a 6'6" guy, 250 pounds. He also was a quarterback. I mean, a lot of folks talk about how Travis Kelce was a quarterback when he first went to Cincinnati, and that helped him understand routes, openings in the field. This guy's in a similar situation. So I think they had an amazing draft, but like I said, it'll be a couple years before it comes to fruition. But I think going into this year, hey, you've got to be the favorite to go to the Super Bowl in the AFC.
Yeah, I think as long as Mahomes is back there. Here's the crazy part: the Chiefs drafted 3 offensive linemen, 2 DBs, a wide receiver, and a tight end. Is that not crazy? They didn't address the defensive line at all. But Coach, let me ask you this: how would you feel being the? Let me ask you this, Coach: how would you feel if your girl made more money than you? How would you feel?
I'd be all right with it. Not gonna lie, but I'm lazy like that. I guess, truth be told, Taylor Swift can stop touring now.
She's stop touring
she's
now.
Right? I'm not sure it'll work that way, but that she certainly can.
I wouldn't have no problem with it either. But it's kind of funny if they go out and he's like, "No, I'm paying." And she's like, "She gotta look at him like, okay, I make more money than you."
Yeah,
okay,
that's chump change. Chump change. Yeah,
that's a good. That's a good one. Well, Kansas City fans, we're gonna look forward to the next season. So they should be. They reloaded. I mean, that's what it seems like, and so good times at Arrowhead still seem like they'll be carrying on for a couple years. Hey, when we come back, we're going to get into some Cardinals and some Royals baseball here because the Royals are turning some heads. I can tell you that, and the Cardinals are trying to hang on so they can get their offense in gear. But hey, don't go anywhere. Tell a friend to Huddle Up. Check out Huddle Up here on Missouri Sports Network inside the Bambino's Fine Italian Cafe studio. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hi. I'll have the avocado toast minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days. Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck. And a high-tech Chevy SUV. Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together, we can do more.
Welcome back, everyone, to Huddle Up here on the Missouri Sports Network inside the Bambino Fine Italian Cafe studio. And the music you heard sounded like it was a spy music guy had playing in the back, but that's all right. We're doing good here today, baby. DA, my man, hey, he got big plans tonight, baby. What's up with Nuke over there? Nuke, we're doing it, guy. Hey, we have fun up in here, man. Tell someone, like you said, guy, tell them to go to their Twitter account. Tell them to like us on Facebook. We just like to have a good time here on Huddle Up, talk about our local and area sports. And today, right now, our second segment, man, we're going to jump right into the Cardinals and the Royals, which is, I think both of them have the ability to win their divisions. The Cardinals right now are off to a slower start than the Royals, but I really see a lot of promise in the Cardinals, coach and Nuke. And I really see that the Royals are really kind of showing some people what it means to draft well and to get off to a good start, to get that confidence, get people coming to the ballpark. Nuke, let's start with you, buddy. What do you see that the Cardinals need to do to change some things? I know today at time of we're airing this, they lost today 4-1 and split a double hitter yesterday. Tell me what your thoughts on the last week with the Cardinals after taking 2 out of 3 and should have won 3, should have swept the Mets. What are your thoughts, Nuke?
Well, I think right now they're just striking out too much offensively. Paul Goldschmidt is struggling. He was hitting in the 2-hole for the first probably 20, 25 games of the season. The last maybe 8 or 10 games, they've moved him back into the 5 or 6 spot, which is where I think he needs to be, where he can drive some runs in. And that was very evident yesterday in the first game of that doubleheader. He and Arenado got big hits there along with Burleson that helped win that game. But, I mean, he struck out 38 times in 113 at-bats, and he's played in 30 games. And then you look at Nolan Gorman, he struck out 38 times, and he's only batted 105 times. So I think they're just swing and miss too much, and I think that hitting's going to come around, especially as the temperature gets a little bit warmer, and maybe they start figuring pitchers out a little bit. But on the mound, they haven't been as bad as what I thought going in. I mean, Kyle Gibson had a heck of an effort yesterday. I mean, 7 innings, 1 earned run, and when he left, they were down, so he didn't get the win. Liberatore actually got the win in the comeback, but then they dropped today. They dropped the second game of that doubleheader. I think, and Contreras, he's kind of fallen off a little bit too, but he's injured. He's got that wrist that he's dealing with, but he's trying to play through it. So we'll see as the temperature starts to get warmer here, and it's just May. It's May the 2nd, and you can't really start panicking a little bit. Just like the Royals can't get too high, but they had the best April in their history. Of the Kansas City Royals. They've been around 54 year.
Wow, guy comes with all the wealth of knowledge. I didn't even know that they had the best April of their history. That's something to be commended for them. They're putting it together. Da, what do you think? What do you think the Royals? You think they got a chance to sustain this, or is this just kind of like a flash in the pan?
No, I think they do. They're built that way. And like I said last offseason, they made some pretty wise moves in the offseason. Once they got Witt signed to the long-term big contract, I think that changed the whole mindset of the front office. You get a superstar in the making like that secured. It gives you the confidence to go out, spend some money, and build around people like that. So I think the big thing is they're 12-5 at home right now, and they're protecting Kauffman Field, and that's very big in this league, especially when you're playing some divisional games. So so far so good. Time will tell. Obviously, they're going to have to stay healthy and pitch. Their pitching's been tremendous up to this point. And, they're going to have to keep that moving along. But I think they're built for the long haul and built for getting to the postseason and possibly making a run. think they'll turn a lot of heads and surprise a lot of people this year.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see when they get, the dog days of June and July kind of hit, and you got to play some of these big boys that kind of come to town that traditionally beat up on you. It'll be interesting to see how they handle that, how the adversity hits, and it doesn't take a lot to throw a baseball team out. Just take an injury here or there. You got to call somebody up. The chemistry in a baseball dugout is far different than the other sports, because that could throw off just one injury can throw off a lot more. I think, in my opinion, other sports. But we'll see what happens. Let's move on to baseball, in which we, our MSU Bears. Let's talk a little about MSU. We'll talk about Drury. We'll talk about Mission also, Evangel and Mizzou. Guy, MSU had a couple interesting signees today, this week. Guy, talk about them and what you think the Bears got to do to get this thing turned around.
Well, I tell you one thing is on their pitching side, but and they've addressed that, in their commitment from yesterday. Drew Wedgeworth, who is Bill Rowe's grandson, out of Glendale, probably the best pitcher in the city. He's not overpowering. I mean, he's not a guy that's going to get, ring the bell at 90. But he's very consistent. He knows where to pitch and how to pitch. He's very cerebral on the mound. And earlier this week, or over the weekend, they went up to Columbia and played Columbia Rockbridge, who's the number 4 ranked team in the state. And then they played Francis Howell, who's the Class 6 defending champion in the state of Missouri. They got 2 wins. Wedgeworth threw that Francis Howell game and gave up 2 earned runs, but struck out 7 and went the full game. Complete game, and with the high school pitch counts, that's pretty challenging to get to a complete game. But he got a complete game shutout, and Glendale's going to be a team to deal with. But also, the baseball team signed a Spoonhauer, Charlie Spoonhauer, who is Charlie Spoonhauer, the coach's grandson, also committed to Bears baseball. So next year they're going to have a Rowe on the team. A Rowe family member on the team, and a Spoonhauer. So that's very interesting just to see that and how that came about.
That is very interesting. I think that kind of makes you feel a little bit good to know that tradition is still there, DA. But you know what? The Bears are going to be fine. And I think some of the people they got coming in, there was a high school kid that we were talking about. So, so that's coming in. So that's going to be some good things happening. Talk to me, Guy. I'm going to stay with you here. Talk to me about Drury and Mission a little bit.
Well, Mission University, they compete. They actually dual NAIA and NCCAA. The NCCAA is the National Christian College Athletic Association. Their World Series is in Kansas City, Missouri, and it's a World Series that Mission competed in last year. Actually knocked College of the Ozarks out of the World Series up there, but they are hosting, they're going to be hosting the regionals and actually start on Monday, and they're going to play at 2 different facilities. They're going to play down at Ozark, and they're going to play at Metter Park, and they've got to get that tournament in, because then the Heart of America Conference comes in on Thursday to start their Heart of America tournament, so they're having to start it a little bit early. Evangel, they're traveling out to someplace in Kansas to play there, because they're playing in that new KCAC conference. So they're going to make that tournament, I believe. And MSU, they're sitting right now in the 7 spot. They only take the top 8 teams, but the 3 series they got in front of them are teams that are right in front of them. And so they can get up into that 4 spot where they don't have to play on that first weekend. Like they did 3 years ago when they were the 6th seed, but they came all the way through the tournament and won it, but it was at home. Now it's going to be out at Evansville.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed. It's funny when you say Metter Park, because, man, that just brings back a lot of old memories of the old Missouri State games there. But look, there's a lot of things going on, Guy. Before we round out this segment here, Coach and Guy, I wanted to ask you, Guy, about the leadoff club. Tell me a little bit about it and how it went this week.
It's gone fantastic all year. Andy Fawcett and his staff down at Bambino's have really taken care of us. I know you've been at 1 or 2 of the luncheons. Coach Archer's been out to one of them. Good attendance. You get some media people that are there. You get some obviously you get coaches that are there, but then you get some fans. Coach Eiseminger came in the last 2 weeks. Legendary Hillcrest High School coach Scotty Bales has been known to make an appearance. Who pitched at Parkview, then at Missouri State, then 11 years in Major League Baseball. He's been out there. Coach Rowe does not miss. Maybe on occasion he might miss, but Coach Rowe usually always there. Tom Mast, from his days at Color 10, and he's always in attendance. So a lot of fun. Art Haynes MCs it. I go by, I pick up Art, get him out there, and he MCs it with the microphone and introduces the coaches. And all 4 of the college coaches in the area have been there almost every time. Coach Gutton has not missed. Tyler Evans at Evangel has missed a couple of times, but he had a baby. Well, he didn't. His wife did. But so that's excusable. Jury, Scott Nasby has not missed this season. It's always good to hear from them. Randy Merriman at Mission has not missed. I invite everybody that's watching to join us. We've got 2 meetings left this Monday. May the 6th coming up, and then we'll kind of hang around and vote on the award winners for the city and area. And then May 13th, all the parents and coaches of those who have won the awards will be invited in, and that meal is actually being paid for, so nobody who attends on May the 13th will have to pay for a meal. We have a sponsor that will be paying for everyone's meal.
Well, I love that, DA. DA, put that on your calendar. Let's make sure we get there early and stay there late.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what, Bambino's has great Italian food, and if you don't like Italian food, you don't like food.
That's right.
It is good stuff.
That's right. If you don't like it, go to Walmart shop and get. Okay, here we go. Hey, we got one more segment left. We'll be right back. We're going to close it off here. We're going to get a follow-up on Incarnate Word, Coach, and some other good things that we want to talk about, and then we'll let you guys know how we feel things are going to play out here in the NBA championship. With a little bit of NBA basketball we'll end off with. Don't go anywhere. You listen to Huddle Up here on the Missouri Sports Network. We'll be right back.
All right, here's the thing with loans. Don't look around. If you do, you start noticing things. Noticing things always leads to other things like, yeah, we should probably fix that up a little. And we're not spending, we're investing. We're talking future here. And look, it has 200,000 miles. Time for a new one. You've earned it. You know what's crazy though? All those things are true. For the little project or the big dream or just about anything else, a great Southern loan is just right for the things you can't help but notice.
Welcome back to Huddle Up here on the Missouri Sports Network inside of Bambino's Fine Italian Cafe studio. I'm Johnny Mack. That's Coach DA. And my other sidekick over there is the scoreboard guy, Guy Newcomb. Hey, look here. We're going to talk about really quick, just jump in on the NBA. Just because I know a lot of times we don't talk about it, but there's some very, very interesting series that have been happening. You've probably seen the Knicks versus the 76ers, the wild finish in Game 2, the wild finish in Game 5, which right now the Knicks are up 3-2, heading back to play the 76ers tomorrow. DA, really quick, who you got tomorrow, Sixers or Knicks?
I'm going to have to go with the Knicks. I think Mojo's on their side. They're due. Right. Go Knicks.
All right. Next game I'm going to bring up real quick here, Guy, is let's go Orlando and Cleveland. Guy, series tied 2-2. Not a lot of people are seeing these teams play, but Montero, these guys are playing some good basketball with Garland, all these guys. But, Guy, just give me real quick, just pull one out the hat, Guy. Who you got, Orlando or Cleveland tomorrow?
I'm going to go with Orlando.
Okay. You got Orlando. And I'm coming back to you, my dear friend, Coach. All right, here we go. Indiana loses to a team that had a historical victory. Never in the history of basketball, playoff basketball, had a team had their top 2 scorers unavailable and lose a game. Never. Embarrassing. I can't understand it. But Indiana, up 3-2. Who you got?
Johnny, I'm from Indiana.
I know.
Pacers knock out the Bucks, regardless of who they've got playing or who they don't. It ends at Indy tomorrow.
Okay, because I knew you was from Indiana because I heard when Bobby Knight threw that chair across the court, you were the one that stopped it. I heard you the one that picked it up and took it back over to the bench. That's what I heard.
Caught me right in the shin. Right in the shin.
Hey, let's end on some positive. Well, no, let's say the NBA before we go out there. Hey, any thoughts? I can't believe Phoenix went out like that, got swept by Minnesota. Minnesota seemed like they're coming. Kevin Durant, kind of a sad situation with him leaving, gentlemen. And the Lakers, LeBron, the chosen one, the king, loses 4-1 to the Denver Nuggets. Any thoughts on the Lakers getting back to glory? You think LeBron will win another ring, Coach?
I don't.
Not even one. Not. You don't think he'll leave?
Hey, he put this team together to go win rings and couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
He may be the king, but he's not the GOAT.
He is not the GOAT.
So I think he's done. His glory days are past.
Yeah.
He and Bronny can try to create a super team somewhere, and good luck to him.
Well, I see him stat padding a lot, if you ask me, and which I'm not a hater of LeBron. I'm just not. I didn't give him the accolade. He's just an eye test. If you look at it just skill wise and just look at like he's not on that level of a Jordan or a Kobe, just athletics wise. But I mean, brute strength, of course, he's a beast. But Guy, let me ask you this. I gave Coach the LeBron question. I'm gonna give you the Durant question. You think KD win one before he gets out of here?
No, I don't believe he will either. I think he's past his time and past his prime, and I'm not a big KD fan.
Yeah.
And I'm not a LeBron fan, but I respect him. I mean, he's a good family man. He's a good father. You don't hear about him getting in trouble or anything like that. I'm just not been a fan because he's a stat stuffer. And, ever since he said, I'm going to take my talent to South Beach.
Yeah.
And, that was something that kind of turned me off a little bit, but I do respect him.
Yeah. Well, I respect him for what he's done in the NBA and the trouble he stayed out of. Now, has he probably gotten into some trouble? That's for a whole nother show. But we're gonna leave that alone. But look, the Guy, last week we had an update on the corner word, Coach, and something pretty cool happened at the school. Tell our who just to fill you in, a corner word coach had a medical emergency, which I believe was a heart attack after the Final Four game against Kickapoo. But they did go on to win the state championship. And then something happened last week where he was able to get out of hospital last week. But then this week, Guy, tell our audience what happened.
Well, unbeknownst to any of the students at Incarnate Word, they had an assembly scheduled, and somebody smuggled Coach Rothfuss into the room, and it just went nuts.
Yeah.
Nobody knew he was coming, except perhaps the St. Louis Post-Dispatch because they were there with pictures. But a tremendous moment. I mean, a month after this horrific event, and he's back at home. He's still going through some rehab things. But he's able to get home, and I know that's huge to him. Yeah. And just to be able to get back home after a month, and another update, so to speak, in a similar situation is Art Haynes is about to be able to go back home. Mm-hmm. He sold his house, and they bought a one-level house out on the east part of town. They got to get some ramps in, but hopefully within the next 2 weeks. He'll be at home, and he's been 2.5 years that he's been in a facility and has not slept in his own bed. Wow. So, and I see him every week, have lunch with him every week. He's always been upbeat, very positive about it. But that's an exciting moment that's going to happen here in the near future for a Missouri Sports Hall of Famer and a legend, Art Haynes.
That's a good deal. That's a good deal. And so guys, this week you'll be doing a lot of baseball. Tell us where you'll be at this week, this upcoming week.
Well, this upcoming week I'm going to call some games for Mission University in the NCCAA regional down at Ozark. I'll be posted up there at the Ozark Ballpark all 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and perhaps Thursday if Mission can get to the championship game, and they are the 1 seed in this regional. They play Randall in the first game, and that'll be 7 o'clock on Monday night. And if they win, they'll play 7 o'clock on. It is a double elimination tournament, very similar to the College World Series at the Division I level. So I'll be posted up down there, and I may end up staying and taking in a little bit of the Heart of America tournament. I have called that tournament in the past as well. So lots of baseball. There'll be a lot of districts. Seed meetings going on at the high school level coming up here in the next probably week to 10 days, and those will all be posted at the Missouri Sports Network.
Good deal, good deal. Coach, what you got planned this weekend, my friend?
Well, it looks like there's going to be a lot of rain in the forecast, so I plan on being in the recliner, watching a little MLB. And my oldest grandchild turns 3 this weekend, so I get to be grandpa and run a birthday party.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, baby. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, here's what I got to say. Hey, man, love y'all. Great show. Hey, once again, tell a friend, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Tune in, huddle up inside the Bambino Fine Italian Cafe studio. And what we really want to let you know is that you are on the Missouri Sports Network. I'll see you guys out looking around, checking out who's pushing these shopping carts, and let me know what you see. All right? All right. So for myself, Guy Newcomb, and DA, everyone be safe. Have a good week, and we'll see you back here next week on Huddle Up.
This has been a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network. Thank you for tuning in.